if you do not take it,
You need to really deal with the stressors, the different lions that are in your life. You need to find a way of dealing with them. I am one of those people that once believed that therapy is expensive and only for a particular kind of people. Say the rich, the affluent, those kinds of people,
planned kids.
the planned kids, and all that kind of thing. And time has changed that for me. Reality has changed that for me. So welcome to our new episode 12, where we're going to be busting the myth that therapy is expensive and only for a particular kind of people in our society. My name is Flavia Rita Bavide, and I'm a stress and self-care coach together with
Jocelyn Kajumba, and I'm a neuropsychologist.
So today we're going to talk about that myth. Me as me. I really believe that therapy is expensive,
Yeah.
really. And it is also for a particular kind of people. And I knew that until I get to that class of people, I would never do therapy, right? But over time, after life beating me properly in different years, I found my way into a therapist's office, and I think I've seen 3. But guilty as charged, I think I don't complete my sessions still, because at the back of your mind you're thinking, I'm going to spend 200,000 for 2 hours every week, or maybe 100,000
Per hour.
per hour. And then you get there and time goes, and then you at the end of the session they're telling you this is how much you have to pay.
Yeah.
So I've always feared and always held back from doing therapy because of that. But I'm sure there are so many people out there like myself who think the same and who have been stuck in certain situations because they believe that it is expensive and it's for certain people. What do you tell us as
For me,
as a
growing up,
psychologist and someone who's practicing?
for me growing up, I actually didn't hear the word therapy. It was counseling.
Yes, that is what we knew.
Yeah.
In school, what were they called?
Counselors.
No, they were not.
Matrons, what if?
I have forgotten. I've forgotten that one.
Senior women.
Senior woman and senior man.
Yeah.
That one. That is what I grew up.
Yeah. Yeah, true. So
Yeah.
for me, I didn't hear the word therapy, but I had counseling and counselor.
Yes.
I remember there's a particular time at school, I was taken to a school counselor, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know. I didn't know what it was supposed to feel like, but then I get to this lady's office and we just talk. We just talk, and then I'm like, wait, it's just talking. This is okay. So for me, I knew counseling is talking, and it was okay for me. Now growing up, I get into this space, into this field, and as someone who carries out therapy, you look at, by the time someone comes in for therapy, it's like the last hope. Either
Last resort.
yes, either the workplace, in most cases, it's actually the employer saying that, you know what, first put on therapy.
Oh yes.
And if that's not the case, you're not going to have your job, because you cannot have you coming in late. You cannot have you. So actually, most of the people I get are for, it's a HR thing, and then they tell me, can you please send the report like now? Can you send the report? How many more sessions do I have to need? Yeah, and yeah. So one thing I've noticed, it's that especially with Ugandans is it's not something they willingly, like, for the sake of my mental health, for the sake of, no, it will be at that point, like you said, you get there, and then when you actually get there and you start doing the therapy, that moment when you feel like, I'm a bit better, then you're done. You don't even say bye to your therapists, you guys. Like you just close that relationship.
Who am I really? To you, I'm just a problematic child coming to you to solve my problem. Where should I close this door?
These people, they don't even let you know that, you know what, I won't be coming in next week. They just, the moment they feel a certain bit of what they had come in for is no longer an issue, then they escape. They go AWOL. But then something you should know about the body is that that's like a dopamine hit. You will feel good because you've started doing the work, but eventually you will relapse if you don't continue. It's like it's a journey. It's not like a padlock that you have to unlock. It's a journey. You have to walk through the steps. But this is something, this is not something that comes easily to Ugandans. This is not something that comes therapies. She's gone to therapy. She's going to see a counselor.
Actually, sometimes in therapy, one of my challenges is like you feel like nothing is changing. You feel like before even that dopamine hit that you talked about, you feel like I just come here and talk. What value is it really giving me? Like, for me personally, I think that's one thing that I struggle with. So I feel like I'm not progressing. But then I always remind myself that beginnings are always like that.
You're not going to get muscle. Yeah, you're not the first day you go to the gym.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's going to take some time. So hang in there, you're supposed to hang in there. And because you know that you're supposed to hang in there anyway, for it to actually make sense and give you the results you're looking for, that means more sessions and some more money. Then you go back into that way, that's actually expensive.
That part, yeah.
Exactly. So, but yes, I hear you. I totally hear you. Yeah.
But there are, without even getting to the part where I have to pay, there are other therapies that we can do without spending a coin.
That's true.
Yeah.
There are very many. Now that's a bit into which it pushed me. I told myself there must be other ways. There must be other ways of getting therapy without me spending so much, without me having to say my problems. Because like I told you, I've seen 3 therapists, I think. And you go to one, you say those problems, you realize it's not working. Then months later, it hits you again. You're like, let me go and see another one. Someone recommends, now there's this one. You should try this one. You're going. You also start the same story. They take you back. Then you're like, it's not working. Let me try my way. You leave. And again, you find someone. They tell you this one is even cheaper. They said you make paying 100. This one will pay 50,000.
Yeah.
But you also try. Never lasts. So for me, I think after doing all those things, I decided to now look for other therapies. And I found that there were other therapies that were affordable.
Yeah.
Yes. Were very affordable. And I decided to do some of those. So something like ecotherapy.
Okay.
Spending time in nature. I love going to outdoors Uganda. It's in on Gayaza Road.
I was going to say, with the way trees are being cut these days,
those people have a business model where they planted trees. Everything is made in wood. The beds, but even the rooms,
yeah,
it is all nature. So for me, I usually escape to the outdoors, great outdoors. That's in on Gayaza Road. Yeah. Then I also found water therapy. Water therapy. So luckily, years ago, I had learned how to swim. I know only one stroke. So when I want to distress sometime, I just go into a swimming pool. At least I know I won't drown. I can hang on, float, play with my feet in the water, and I'll live rejuvenated and all. Then travel therapy for me has worked as well. It's one of the things that I've done and I've got to enjoy. But if we're talking about cost, it's another one.
Yeah. I was going to say, no, that one is more expensive than therapy itself.
So yes, what she says is true, that there are different therapies that you can try that are not the mainstream therapy that
Yes.
Uganda here, we know therapy as being seeing a therapist. like you.
Yes.
And we sit down and we talk about the issues, and then you advise me on how to do. You ask me a lot of questions to get to the root of my problem.
Yes.
And all that kind of things.
Yes. Yeah. So we have also things like, well, mainly when I work with children, art therapy.
Yes.
Just, it could be painting, it could be drawing. Just draw what you feel, draw. Express yourself through the art. Play therapy.
Yes.
Play therapy, whatever it is. Maybe it's mud, it could be mud, it could be boys, yeah, it could be clay.
Yeah, those are clay things.
Yes. Things that involve you to touch and feel. Yes. And it has actually worked with children, especially. We use that a lot with neurological children that have neurological disorders, like autism, like ADHD, like learning disabilities. We use that a lot with them, and it actually helps. So, now that you know that therapy is not for a particular kind of people.
No, we still have to deep into that. I remember earlier here when we were still talking before we started shooting, you said something like, it's not only the rich that have a mind.
Yes.
Please elaborate on that.
Yeah. So when you go for therapy, the main thing you're trying to unbox is your mind.
Oh, yeah.
The main thing you're trying to look at is the issue that is causing you to think like that, to feel like that. So it's the mind that we are dealing with. It's the mind, like we said, mental health issues, mental wellness.
Yeah.
So we are dealing with a mind. But then, those people have a mind, but so do you.
The rich have a mind.
The rich have a
But so do I.
But so do you. Yeah. You don't count yourself among the rich?
By the grace of God.
Everyone has a mind. Everyone's mind has to be taken care of.
Yes, that's true.
And there is no template of like, no, this is how you're going to take care of your mind. There is no perfect way to take care of your mind. It's trying things out. It's doing different things. It's eating the right way. It's a whole cascade, like we were talking about a few episodes back. It's a whole cocktail of things
Yes.
to look after your mind. So when you look at, when you say stress, therapy is only for the rich. That means it's only the rich that have a mind, because they are the only ones who are going to take care of their mind. They are the only ones who are going to try out different techniques. They're the only ones who are going to try out different nutrition. They're the only ones who are going to
and yet you hear that Butabika actually does not have, okay, it does have some planned kids from rich homes, but it's not full of only the rich people.
It's not.
Yes, so
It's not.
it cuts across.
Yes.
Mental health issues. I think I've heard of this before. Mental health issues do not know about your income status. They don't care about your income status. The one who considers themselves poor, they can actually get the issue. The ones who consider themselves rich can also get mental health issues. So it is important that both of us, the poor and the rich, both, because get some therapy in whichever form it is.
I've seen it both ways.
Yes.
There was someone who was from presenting. Very, 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 very good speaker. Like, this is someone who, when they leave the stage, everyone wants to hug them and say hi to them and, get their number and talk to them. But every time she left the stage, she went for therapy.
Oh, yes, I've heard of that.
Every time she left the stage, she went for therapy.
I've heard of that.
But then these are people who you should be thinking like, when they have it
figured out.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I've also seen someone who is struggling, doesn't have a job, is trying to get into the workspace, and they're also struggling mentally.
Yes.
And then you'll also see a child who is saying the pressures of getting first grades, are getting to me.
Yeah.
And I think it was last year, but there's a child who burnt himself because he got an 8. and the parents told him to get a 4. So you can imagine such things.
Yes.
So it cuts across from child to young adults to
These issues are non discriminative.
yeah.
They can bite both the old, the young, the middle aged. So it is important to also look at therapy as a necessity for everyone, no matter where you lie. The old, the young, the middle aged, the rich, the poor, the ones middle class, Christians and non-Christians.
Yeah.
It cuts across male, female.
Yeah.
It cuts across. But I think that's important to note. So that we don't just think of therapy is for particular people. It's made for particular kind of people and all. It also reminds me of something. I think the other thing people think about therapy is that it is a sign of weakness as well, especially the men. Especially the men. I'm going to emphasize that because I've talked to some ladies and they're telling me, you know what, we're having marital issues in my home and stuff like that. And then you ask her, what have you tried to do? Have you tried to find help from wherever? And they're telling you, yes, I've tried to find help. And then they'll tell you that I asked my husband to come and do therapy together. And he said he couldn't. Said that is for weak people. I can't come to therapy and talk to another person about our issues and all. But like you said, therapy is for unpacking the mind to get to what is actually causing you. There's repetitive thoughts that are causing you anxiety, that are causing you stress, that are causing you depression, that emotion. They're trying to unpack. You're trying to unpack that emotion. So yes, dear husbands, dear males.
No, I think
therapy is for you as well.
I sort of
not only women.
Yes, because from time immemorial, men go hunting, men take care of that. So for them to actually go to a therapist, it will come off as I can't handle my family.
A sign of weakness.
Yeah.
No, me, I don't get them. I honestly don't get them. And this is why I have seen it that you don't know it all. We don't know it all. Even me, Flavia, I don't know it all. So me coming to see a therapist is not because I want you to advise me into what I'm going to do in my family and all. I'm coming to you to help me unpack, get, the things I don't know. You are a neuropsychologist, you are a counselor, you are a therapist, you've been to psychology school, so you know the working of a human mind, which I don't know. So me, I'm coming to you, not for you to advise me on how to run my family as a man. I'm coming to you to advise me on how to handle myself as a man so that I can be a better husband, so that I can be a better father.
So that I can handle my family.
So that I can handle my family.
And make better decisions.
And take my family to a better place. So it's not really about, and those are the myths we want to bust, really, that it's not for the weak. It's not for a particular kind of people. These problems cut across. Like we've said, these problems are not discriminative.
Yeah.
They will affect you, they will affect me, they will affect whoever is in this world, in whichever way, in whichever magnitude, right? But therapy is there to help us close some gaps, get to understand themselves better, get to the bottom of what is actually biting us and affecting our homes, affecting our families, affecting ourselves.
Yes.
You've said you usually get requests from HRs. What's affecting you at work? Because if you're not fine as you won't show up at the job well.
No, you can't.
You won't show up for your wife, for your husband, for your family, for your children, for your businesses. You won't show up the best way you should be showing up. So for me, therapy, I started looking at it as that it's not something that is trying to change me.
Yeah.
It is not.
Yeah.
It is only trying to make me well so that I can do the rest of the things that I need to do well. Yes.
That's a good way to put it. A very good way to put it.
So, dear men, I still repeat, Mwemanyi. Because I've seen it. I think I've seen it bite families. But
let's also go back to creating safe spaces for men. Because he may be scared to go for therapy because the wife is going to be like,
Mm-hmm.
you remember what you said last time in therapy? Remember?
Yeah.
So I think also, creating a safe space for them that actually what is going to happen, we are going to go for therapy, but this is for us. This is for us to become better human beings so that we can be better parents.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
It's just for your betterment. You have to be a better person, and then you can make everything else around you better. I have a friend who told me of her cousins of hers who met a girl and they started dating. And on their to-do list before they get married was therapy. Therapy was a to-do. If you don't want to do therapy,
You're not the one.
Yeah, we can't proceed. Because wherever you've come from, you've been.
Yeah.
Or I just need you to be better. Yes, after we get into marriage and whatever it is.
Yeah. Because we dealt with the
traumas and what else. Yeah. Also, we've made ourselves better for each other so that we can bring forth a family that is also good enough.
That's how we break the generational curse.
And that is how you break all those things. Yeah. So for me, that was very
insightful.
For me, that was something that I said I wish we had done or someone had told us before that.
Yeah.
Before you proceed,
you need a healed person.
Yes. You need a better person for yourself, for the marriage, and you also need to be better than what you are for the next phase of your life. Otherwise, you all come with our traumas, our baggage, and whatever. And we proceed into marriage, and then so that's why a man will stand up and say, I'm not doing therapy. And they're like, okay. I'd rather look at a marriage but I'm not doing therapy. And then it's sad.
I know.
It is sad.
Yeah. Because the children are the one who are benefited. Yeah.
Yes. So we're talking about the different types of therapy. Besides talk therapy, which are people like these offer, psychologists, neuropsychologists, and counselors, and all those kind of people, there are other therapies that you can explore when you're feeling down, when you're feeling low. Things that you can top up to the talk therapy that you can get from people like these. We've talked about play therapy.
Yeah.
Get playing, maybe with your children and all. And other things. Find a way of playing. Get into
create stuff.
Yeah.
Create also things like play.
Yeah.
Things like clay, muds.
Yeah. Go for game nights. Right? Go for game nights. Go for retreats so that those things are happening. It will help to rejuvenate something within you. Then we have water therapy.
Yeah.
Water therapy is just being around water bodies and water, really, of any kind. Could be, if you say a stream of river flowing somewhere, it's near your home. Or you could travel to CP Falls and see water. Travel to the beach, see water. Go to a swimming pool, play in the water.
Yeah.
That's another thing that
can
rejuvenate you.
Get
you back. We've talked about art therapy. These days you have a lot of art clubs that have come up in Uganda. Paint and chat, paint and sip
and
something like that.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. And people are now having this thing at different parties.
Environment affects us in a way that we do not know. So take care of your environment. Who are you speaking to? Who are you listening to? Who is on your phone? Who are you scrolling? Who are your friends? What movies are you watching? What music are you listening? There was a study done that the morning birds, those morning birds that
chopping up.
Yeah. The plants, the kind of the plants that were around them would bloom from those, and then they put like hip hop music to be playing, and the plants died. the plants died. But then with the sounds of the birds, with the sounds of the birds, and also there was a particular song that they also used. I think it was a hill song. Yeah. And the plants were blooming. So they did, I think, for 6 months. But then they would play hip hop music and then the plants would die. So it goes back also to the kind of music that it also affects our brainwave states in a way that we also don't know. So what music are you listening to? What are you eating? What friends are you around? The environment around, like we've said, the environment dictates how you feel, and how you think, and how your body reacts.
So this costing thing, if we talk about the costing, so it is cheaper to make sure you have good sleep. It is cheaper to make sure that you have a good diet. It is cheaper to make sure that you watch what is in your environment. It is cheaper to holistically take care of yourself.
Yes.
Spiritually, go fellowship, pray, mentally, read a book, listen to audiobooks, learn something new, exercise your brain, then it's cheaper to journal.
Yeah.
It is cheaper to practice gratitude. When you practice gratitude,
yes,
sometimes all these things look very small. When you know that God took you through a situation and you went over that situation, that means whatever else you're facing in the moment, you can also surmount it. It's not something that can take you down. It is cheaper to take a walk, do a run, go to gym, and all these things to keep yourself in shape mentally and physically so that you actually don't go to therapy. But if all this fails, then you may have to go to therapy. Or if something is really big, we understand sometimes some situations can't just be handled by sleeping, eating, and all. Sometimes you need to talk to someone, you need to engage with someone, you need to be out there and do what needs to be done by going to therapy. And like you said, therapy is unpacking the mind. And helping you deal with the emotion that you're currently experiencing. So we move from the free things that God gives us, that the earth gives us.
Yes.
You move to therapy, which is the second stage.
Yes.
Maybe because these are not helping as much as they should help with this particular situation. So you go to therapy. Therapy in the moment will seem more expensive than the free things that God has given us. Of course, the self-care activities that we've mentioned, definitely it will be a bit expensive, seemingly expensive in that moment. Now, if you don't use these two avenues to deal with your issues, the third avenue that you have is probably resorting to bad coping mechanisms, which may be drugs, maybe drinking, maybe smoking, and all these kind of things. And then you end up in rehab. Tell me about the cost of rehab. I know it is a big cost.
It is. The cheapest that I know is 200
Per what?
per day, and that's without food, because you have to. That's just you being there, because they have to cook for you a particular type of meal. Also, you have to be seeing therapists.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the next stage you go to is rehab because of poor coping mechanisms. And of course, that's a bigger cost. If you go beyond rehab, then you will go into the state of being sick.
Disease.
Yes. That we've been talking about. You have maybe autoimmune issues that need you to go into hospital every other time and buy drugs. And my children come and say, "Mommy, this place itches."
Yeah.
We just say, "Go and bring oil." We put. If we have a cold, I tell them, if I have flu and what, I get an oil. We have some of them.
Yeah.
If not, I put it in their water to shower. And so when they're showering, they're inhaling the oil. Yes. When you're struggling with headaches or tummy aches, they usually have tummy aches as well. So we get one for tummy ache and we roll over their tummies. And it has done a difference. So it is important to have these first aid products. They're actually not first aid, but they are products that you can have in your first aid kit at home to help you and your children. Yes, it is very, very imperative. So all these are just proactive ways and preventive measures too, avoiding the worst of stress in your life. Yes,
illness,
mental health illnesses, and all the rest of it in your life. Recently, I've been saying one thing. My mantra ever since I came out of hospital with mom. No, don't let the stress kill you, because it can. But you have the power to kill it before it kills you. You have the power to manage it before it manages you. It will manage you through disease. But if you do what we're talking about here, if you get done with these mindsets that we've been told before, that mental health issues are maybe for the weak, therapy is expensive, and all these kind of things, you'll be able to overcome. So don't let the stress kill you.
Thank you, class. And thank you for coming up with this very incredible oil and solutions to our stress and mental health wellness. I think this is a package that, like I said, every house should have, because it just dropped in my mind how we have those medicine cabinets. We should have a stress cabinet.
First aid box.
First aid stress.
Yes, you need to. Yeah. And they are very portable. You can even move with them.
Yeah.
In your bag day to day. So thank you so much for joining us today. We are really happy that you took off your time to be with us through this episode. We can't wait to see you on the next one. Don't forget to like, share, and follow us on all our social media platforms. God bless you.